But first, I'm starting to believe that the best thing that can happen to controversial figures is a big, high-profile effort by their opponents to cancel them. Now, I'm no fan of the recent trend in our society where certain segments of the public demand the firing, boycotting, cancellation of both public and private figures for anything remotely controversial. But there is growing evidence that the effort at canceling backfires entirely, resulting in a controversial figure or brand gaining notoriety, public support, even more success, either despite or because of the push to cancel them. Take Joe Rogan, the firebrand podcaster and mixed martial arts announcer, got in hot water at the start of the year after he did an interview with a provocative doctor who made controversial statements about COVID-19. The interview led to an outpouring of criticism for both Rogan and Spotify, which hosts his podcast. In the months that followed, there was more reporting on Rogan's own controversial takes on COVID, and someone unearthed a series of clips of Rogan using the N-word, which spread around the internet like wildfire. All of this resulted in calls for Spotify to take action against Rogan, with many demanding the company cancel its deal with him, which was reportedly worth upwards of $200 million. Music legend Neil Young even had Spotify remove his music from the platform. So what kind of impact did all of this controversy have on Rogan? Not only did his status with Spotify remain unchanged, but now he says all the controversy just drove more people to his show.
My subscriptions went up massively. That's what's crazy. During the height of it all, I gained 2 million subscribers. It's fortunate that the people that went for it were CNN, and they're just so untrustworthy.
Yeah.
And people know how biased they are.
It's not just Joe Rogan who can claim a massive victory thanks to the cancel culture warriors. Remember when everyone was mad at Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers for giving at the least extremely misleading answers about his vaccination status, or the anti-cancel culture hoodie he wore during an appearance on a podcast last year? Well, all the public backlash against him not only failed to result in any kind of comeuppance, but he signed a massive 4-year, $200 million contract in March. The deal made Rodgers one of the highest paid players in NFL history. And while attempts by those on the left to cancel people tend to make the most news, it's not something exclusive to liberals. Look at Colin Kaepernick. His career was in a downturn before he started kneeling during the national anthem. But then, after 2 seasons out of the league, Kaepernick signs a major endorsement deal with Nike. The deal reportedly worth millions and on par with a deal for any star player in the league. Kaepernick got his own ad campaign as well as his own branded line within Nike. Last October, Netflix debuted a biographical drama based on Kaepernick's life. And even when these campaigns are successful, they still can end up backfiring. Earlier this year, Twitter permanently suspended Marjorie Taylor Greene's personal account after she violated Twitter's misinformation policies for a 5th time. But it's not like Greene suddenly went away. Instead, she was able to turn that into a fundraising opportunity, positioning herself as a digital martyr, being persecuted by Twitter and the woke online mob. But perhaps the undisputed king of thriving while facing a cancellation campaign is former President Donald Trump, which sort of speaks for itself. Now, I've often focused on the dangers of cancel culture, but I'm starting to think that I've been focusing on the wrong issue altogether. Joining me now is Nick Gillespie, editor-at-large for the libertarian Reason. He's also the host of the Reason Interview. Nick, thanks for coming back on the show. Appreciate it. It was Joe Rogan's increased success that really spurred us to do this story. But this is about much more than Joe Rogan.
I agree. I mean, it's kind of a reverse Streisand effect. If you remember that, the Streisand effect refers to when somebody tries to remove something from public view, but does it in such a way that they actually bring a lot more attention to it. Somebody like Joe Rogan's not a racist. He explained himself and his company, his corporation, backed him up. And as a result, people are like, okay, let's take another look at this. Same thing, I think, with Colin Kaepernick. I think somebody like Dave Chappelle, on Netflix, after being accused of being anti-trans, both Netflix backed him, but Chappelle also explained himself. And I think people find that kind of a conversation genuinely fascinating and intriguing. And you have people like Rogan, he's an interesting guy to listen to.
And the key, though, is the corporations backing them up, right? Because, if the corporation does fire them, I mean, look, if they're incredibly successful on their own, they can go start their own thing or get their own business. But it is critical. I mean, like if Joe Rogan, if Spotify had fired Joe Rogan, he would just take that audience somewhere else. So, corporations are also making business decisions as well.
Absolutely. And, one of the things that is good, I think, or what we're starting to see in a pushback against cancel culture, and again, it's on the right and the left, corporations starting to say, we're not going to cave immediately. And that is a big difference. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Disney in Florida, because, whatever you care about that, Ron DeSantis and the Republicans in Florida have said, we are going after Disney because they spoke out against legislation we successfully passed, and we're going to try and punish them. It'll be interesting to see what Disney does. But what we need are corporations that are committed to free and open speech. And we obviously, even more than that, we need a country that is. Elon Musk taking over Twitter feeds into this. When you see so many people in the media saying this is monstrous, you're going to have a guy like Elon Musk take over, their heads were exploding at the idea that he might be more free speech oriented than the current ownership of Twitter. What we're starting to see is a serious kind of pushback on cancel culture. And I hope it's a rebirth of the kind of free speech culture that I think you and I grew up with, Dan. This was those moments in the 70s and 80s where when suddenly more people could participate in conversations, it was the greatest liberal progressive thing you could do to support people like George Carlin, or Richard Pryor, or, all sorts of comedians and authors who pushed the envelope. I hope that we're getting back into that. And I hope it marks the end of cancel culture. It's one thing to complain about people and say, I don't like Joe Rogan. I think he's an idiot. I think Dave Chappelle is bad. It's another thing altogether to try to deplatform.
Totally agree. And, there are some on the left in particular who claim that cancel culture is a myth, right? And look, cancel culture is an intentionally inflammatory phrase, right? I mean, I'm using it with the intention of being derogatory about it. Let me be totally transparent in saying that. But you have many on the left saying, oh, this is all invented. Cancel culture doesn't really exist, et cetera. And then they'll cite some of these examples of people who survived. But that to me doesn't say it doesn't exist. That just says to me that they didn't succeed.
That's right. And I think you're right that, what has changed now is the dynamic. Instead of people being very meek and kind of corporate, faceless corporate bureaucrats being very meek, they're starting to say, no, this is who I am. I didn't do anything wrong. Here is my thinking. I think, Joe Rogan, who cares about ivermectin, but, that supercut of him saying the N-word over the years was pretty inflammatory. And what did he do? He issued something on Instagram. He spoke directly to his followers saying, this is what was going on there. And it's bad. I shouldn't have been doing it, but that's not who I am. And obviously I'm not a racist. Anybody who knows his guest list and his views on things, that's great because it is speech meeting speech and then letting the marketplace of ideas sort this stuff out. It's a better world when Joe Rogan can talk and people can ignore him if they want. That's the other thing I think we're starting to see more of is people realizing that, it's not an affront to you if somebody somewhere has an audience and you hate them and you want them to be deplatformed. You don't get to do that. What you do is you turn the channel or you turn off, that site or that channel. It's never been easier than ever. It's never been easier than it is now to kind of restrict what you see. And also you have a wider variety than ever. I mean, we're living in the dream of the internet and people are saying this is the worst world possible. It's nuts.
Well, and I will tell you, I'm out of time, but basically I've taken the position that Disney got forced into taking a position, right? Mm-hmm. And, they're to blame for taking a position. I'm not saying their position's right or wrong. It's just they got so much pressure from the warriors within Disney to say, you have to speak, you have to speak, you have to say something here. When the answer is, why did they have to speak? Why did they have to say something about that? Again,
I think that's the next big push is actually corporations who say, for a variety of reasons, we are filled with people who have political ideas and let them express themselves on their own time. But, when you look at a company like Coinbase, the crypto exchange, The CEO there actually paid people who wanted to spend a lot of time talking about politics on the clock. He gave them severance packages. He said, because that's not what we're about. People will find companies, you can work at Ben and Jerry's and be politically engaged, or you can work at Breyers and just make ice cream. It's a good world when people have those options.
Exactly right. I completely agree. This idea that I want corporations to be places where people can have different points of view. That's what we try and do. For example, on this show, a lot of the times, I'll have people who disagree with me. The first question I'll ask them is, tell me why I'm wrong. Anyway, Nick Gillespie, thank you so much for coming on the show. We don't disagree on this one. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.